Hello, class. This is the big week. We are at week 5, and this is the week where we are completing those that DISC assignment. I had asked all of you to submit your DISC to me. You completed DISC, the results during the first and second weeks of this quarter. Those that did, I was able to give you additional information and go through that. Those who didn't, hey, we are here now. We're at the week. And now it's the time. This is midterm. And I do need 100% support on this. I need your support, which means I need for you to complete this assignment. Many students leave off this assignment and think they have plenty of time to get it done. You do not. This is your week to get this done. I need 100% participation. So I'm asking of you to please provide this information. It is an easy assignment worth 100 points, but it means so much. So the instructions for the assignment say use everything DISC management profile assessment results, which you completed. You would have purchased this at the beginning of the quarter. You should click on it. I asked you to click on it then because while it was fresh on your mind, top of mind, you can go into it. So here we go. So if your DISC style was a D, you'd put D here. If it was, so you just type D there, capital D, sorry. Or if it was DI, you put DI. If it was DS, you put DS. So the DISC is going to show you that. So please make sure you fill in this blank here, this box. And then give a brief summary of what your style says about your management personality style. So this could be found on page 4 of your report. Now, if you took the DISC and you'll have a page 4. If you did not take the DISC and you got the DISC from somewhere else on the internet or somewhere, you're not going to find page 4. So you're going to have to search for this information. I can't tell you where to find it other than to buy it from the bookstore, because that is the professional level one. There are other things that may be on the internet that you can use, what students are telling me, but I have not gone to those and have not used those. So you fill in the information here, giving that brief summary. You're just restating what the DISC said about you in your own words here. And then on number 2, did your results surprise you? Explain why or why not. Well, a lot of you wrote this to me. If you completed the DISC and completed all the information, you wrote to me, Dr. Carol, this DISC surprised me. And this is what I thought, and this is what it was before. Same thing here. You're just having a conversation with the paper. You're acting as if you're talking to someone, but you're talking to the paper. So you're completing that information and putting it in number 2. Number 3 says, go to page 5 of your report and identify your priorities while write them in the space below. So what did the report say your priority areas should be and where you should be focusing on? So you would go to page 5 of the report and you would capture that information. Also, if you guys recall, I gave you all this information of what you'd be doing, all the assignments at the beginning of the quarter, so that when we got here, people could zoom through this process and make it swift and easy. No need to be, it's not a complex project, not a complex assignment. Everything has been here all along. We had it since the beginning of the quarter, even before we were able to dive into the course. So number 4 says describe 2 situations where one or more of your priorities have helped you to accomplish a task or help you to be effective when working with others. So that would go in this box, this highlighted box here, number 4. So you can just think of 2 things that have happened. For those of you who've worked ahead, you've already thought of that. and you already know what your answers are going to be, and you're just writing that down. Question number 5 says to locate the list of motivators and demotivators starting on page 12. If your report chose 3 motivators and 3 demotivators, that you choose those that you most identify with in the space below. So you put that information there. You put the 2 that you most identify with, or the 3, if you want to use all 3. See, this is just like great, isn't it? And I know a lot of you are wishing, hey, I could have done this early on, Dr. Carol, and just submitted that and turned it in. Number 6, locate the list of your strengths and challenges as they relate to directing and delegating. And these information can be found on page 7 of your report. Identify the 3 strengths and the 3 challenges that you identify with the most. Explain why you chose those strengths and challenges below. And so you're going to identify those, you're going to list those there. You have a key for you on page 7, so it makes it easy for you to go to that and complete it. Number 7, after watching the Strayer story this week, discovering your purpose, strengths and personality, and reading more about the DISC management style, identify 3 job careers that you believe you would align with, that would align with your personality. Use the list of occupations in this week's Coaches Huddle to help you narrow down your focus and briefly explain why you feel as though your personality would be a good match for these jobs or careers. So if you go to the Coaches Huddle, which I'm going to show you in a moment, you should be able to find those 3 and to list those jobs there and share why you feel as though that would be it. Those are careers that you would align to. I know in an earlier assignment, you filled in how you felt and what you think you'd be doing. Last week, we talked about what you would do if you weren't paid, if money wasn't an object, what you would do. So that may still be one of the ones that you talk about here. So you guys certainly did an excellent job with that assignment. So I'm sure that with this one, all of that will come out. So that's it. Just 7 items. 7 items to complete this week. Isn't that fabulous? That is just a wonderful. There's a lot of this we had already gone over. So I'm going to go back and try to find now the Coaches Huddle. I'm going to go back to that and see what it says. And let's see what it says in the Coaches Huddle. Some of the things that you could talk about. Okay. And for those of you, I wanted to show you one more thing before we go there, because I have some phone calls coming to me and you guys saying, Dr. Carol, I don't know where to find this information. So if you go into week 5, it says discovering your purpose, strengths, and personality. Note on access code, an individual report down here. Digital access code is required for the DISC management profile assessment and must be purchased through the Strayer bookstore. The code will be emailed to you upon purchase. Save your code and your password. The DISC assessment will be a required source for JGR100 and JGR210. So if you all are enrolled in those, you need to go ahead and make sure you get that DISC assessment, all right? Because you're going to need that. So there it is right there, and you can click on the Strayer bookstore and it'll take you out to buy that assessment. So Coaches Huddle, let's go down here to the Coaches Huddle. In the Coaches Huddle, I'm going to stop sharing and then share again, because sometimes it goes back and forth when you start and stop sharing. So the Coaches Huddle this week says, what is personality? And it starts going through, remember your personality is the combination of distinct qualities or strengths that form your unique character. For example, you may be assertive or reliable or patient and optimistic, or even creative and sensitive. Understanding personality can help us understand and for the most part, predict behavior. The strengths that make up your personality offer clues into how you will react or behave in different situations. For instance, a more introverted person might feel uncomfortable speaking up in a large meeting, and a more assertive person might be off-putting to a coworker that tends to avoid confrontation. Regardless, personality varies from person to person, even when we share some of the same strengths. But understanding your personality and your strength is an essential step to discovering your purpose and to finding a career where you can excel. Okay? So, how can I understand my personality? This week, you will be taking the DISC assessment. The assessment is a simple questionnaire that measures your behavior for 4 main personalities types. Dominance, influence is I, S is for steadfastness, and C for consciousness, okay? Within these, it gives the strengths of each. The dominance is direct, results-oriented, firm, strong-willed, forceful. I don't know if I use forceful in a job resume, but results-oriented and strong and firm are good. Under influence, outgoing, enthusiastic, optimistic, high-spirited, and lively. If you and I, all of those are great to include on a resume. Steadfastness, even-tempered, accommodating, patient, humble, tactful. Accommodating, patient, humble, tactful, even-tempered. Those may be good in explaining you. Under C, analytical, reserved, precise, private, systematic. Most of the assessments that I receive for the class, most of you guys fall into C. That was the most. I don't think I had but 1 or 2 S's. Most were C's that submitted their information to me. And the next was DI. We had dominance and influence, or we had influence. So this may sound obvious, but most of us are not simply one personality or another. We have strengths from different personalities. The trick is seeing what the balance looks like. To find out, the DISC assessment measures our behaviors in different situations to identify our strengths and help predict successful performance. And I know predicting successful performance is great. A lot of times we think we know about ourselves, but we really don't, guys. These assessments really do help us. And even if we know some things about ourselves, the assessment helps to bring out other things. So going on, knowing your personality style can help you identify why you prefer working under certain conditions, why there are some people you have a harder time connecting with, and why there are some people you absolutely love working with, and the most importantly, how you can use your results on the DISC assessment to find positions and roles that are aligned with your own skills. Now, unfortunately, your personality and seeking a career that plays to your strengths will lead to greater job satisfaction and increased productivity, okay? So it goes through some dominance and really starts diving into some things. The D personalities are driven and focused. They're real go-getters. And some of you may already know that you're a real go-getter. They are quick to make decisions and can seem aggressive at times because of their assertiveness. They are very adventuresome and confident and like to take charge. Whereas the I personalities are optimistic and influential. Their enthusiasm is contagious, and they are great at motivating others to get involved. People who are I's are risk takers and visionaries. They love new ideas and are creative and enjoy change. Any of these identify with you guys so far? Steadiness. S personalities are relationship oriented. They are concerned about the well-being of others and like to keep harmony. That means they often avoid conflict and also dislike change. And S's loyalty and reliability can make them a great asset to a team. And the last one is I. I is a consciousness. C is consciousness. C personalities are very detail oriented. They love to follow the rules and want to please others. C personalities can be sensitive and reserved. They are perfectionists and enjoy delivering results. Your DISC results will indicate your own unique blend of the above styles. The highest of your 4 styles is called your primary style. The next highest is your secondary style. Most people have at least one secondary style. So now you're wondering, how does your personality affect your career? Well, guys, your personality has a huge impact on the way you interact with others in your career. Let's say you're a fashion blogger who gets energized by communicating with all your followers. If that's the case, it might be hard for you to spend 80% of your time working with budgets and numbers. If you understand your personality and strengths, you will know how to improve your career or find that which is the most suited for you. Your DISC results can provide you with a personality mirror. Isn't that something? A way to look at yourself, a way to see your true self, confirm the things you already know, and show you some things you weren't able to see before. It may also help you see patterns of your past. You may realize that you've had difficulty in jobs with the same types of bosses or when similar changes emerged. Understanding your results and your strengths will help you create a picture of your best self. In other words, you will understand the situations, people, and roles that allow you to perform your best. Now, when you look at your professional past, you will be able to identify why you were probably wondering you have or have not been successful. Once you have a picture of your best self, you can harness your personality's power. Think of the things you enjoy about your current career. Are there aspects of your career that you'd like to be doing more of or that you prefer doing? If your current career isn't allowing you to use your natural strengths, then you can make changes in the way you work to find a way to use these strengths. Taking a mentor or taking on a mentor, asking a lead special project, for instance, or asking to lead a special project, for instance. If you cannot mold your job into one that will allow you to use your strengths, then you can pursue a new career path that will better fit your personality and strengths in the future. So let's pause for a moment. Even at the level I am and some of the accomplishments I've had in the past and things I continue to do today, this quarter I decided to take on a mentor. And I had not had a mentor in a while. Well, this quarter I decided to take on 2 mentors, one for my business and one for the work that I do here at Strayer. Well, both of those mentors have been the best thing that I could have taken on, and it's been so helpful. I take these discs every quarter to see how my personality may change up a little bit. It stays one way one time, but it's one way most of the time. But every time I do it, it gives me some different insights into who I am and what I need to do. Along with the disc, I take other personality profiles and assessments as well, because I am a true believer in assessments, and I do think that they help us tremendously, especially if we have been people, a person like I was that liked to help all people all the time and just never really took the time to think about how to help myself. That has been remarkable for me to see myself through the eyes of the assessment and to see my eyes through the assessment that I give myself. Now to work with a mentor as well, it's extremely beneficial. So you're never too molded or ahead not to take these assessments. So it goes on to say, one of the coach's secrets to success is his ability to align particular personality styles with jobs that require those particular strengths. You'll learn more about this in the second course of the Joe Gibbs Performance Management Program, or JGR100, Building Your Team. In this week's Strayer Talk, you heard from Greg Green, the former pediatric cardiologist, now VP at Joe Gibbs Racing. When Coach Gibbs recruited him, Craig had a hard time seeing how the strengths and personality that made him a successful doctor would work in the very different role of vice president for business operations. But the incredible thing about personality strengths is how they can translate across different jobs and industries. Craig's strengths of motivating others and caring about their well-being made him excel in both roles. And that is such an excellent point here in that story. And I want you guys to remember that. So here we go. Here are the career matches. We got into it. So if you're on the D, I would look down the D list and see which of these kind of match me and pick one or two or three, or, it said 2 or 3. So D, you have lobbyist, business manager, executive, fire marshal, travel guide, principal, landscape sales agent, and the list goes on. I, you have advertising, designer, the creative people. You got a lot of creative people over here. And then our salespeople. I saw creative and sales type people under I. Under S, you have investigator, pharmacist, physical instructor, psychologist, survey worker, counselor. So you have a lot of the people skill type people over here that are counseling and looking into people and helping people move out of whatever predicament they're in. Under C, you have the engineers, the lab tech. These are people that have to be specific about what they're doing. The bankers, the programmers, paralegal, mathematician, broker, finance, accountant, medical records person, job analyst, mail clerk, caseworker. The list goes on. So I want you to look at these and come up with 3 from however you mapped out on this list. I asked this of you. It's 7 questions to complete. I ask that you not try to do this on Sunday. This is not a Sunday assignment, guys. I need for you to try to get this done early this week. I know we're about to run into, the day is a holiday, or Halloween rather, and a lot of you are not on the call this evening, but I do want you to really consider how you could go through this and do a great job really putting some time into this and the value that it's going to give you back. You want something like this to hold in your profile to use later on. And we're going to talk about the profile starting next week, a little bit more on that, week 6, 7, and 8, as we wrap up and conclude. After this assignment, you'll have 2 more plus the profile, which is a combination of all of the information. So that's it for this evening. I want to thank you for taking time to watch this video. If you have questions about your DIS, please get back with me and let me know. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing your assignments this week. I'm excited.